Ah, okay. I don't have, it might work. I don't have a phone holder in the truck. So you're gonna have to enjoy sitting in the dash and seeing whatever this thing's called. I can't turn my air down some in case it's loud. I'm driving home. We still just have one vehicle. The car I bought from Carvana is still in the shop. It's been there for 3 weeks, I think. Hey, bud, you gotta sit down. Okay. I have Rolo with me and a dog named Crone. Hello. But yeah, so my car is still in the shop, and the warranty company, Silver Rock, is claiming that the mechanic isn't doing what they need to do to like tell them what's wrong with the car so they can determine if they're going to cover it or not. And then the mechanic is saying they are sending them the information that they need, and that Silver Rock is just not responding. I don't know. Hey. So I don't know. It's been 3 weeks. Like, when I actually just showed up at Pet Boys to see what, just to show up and see what's going on with my car. And it was parked in the very back of the parking lot, and there was like 5 cars parking it in, so like you can't even get to it. Or like you can't drive out, you can't drive it out. You have to move other cars to drive it. So obviously nobody's doing anything to it. And they have it put out of the way because they don't plan to do anything with it for a while. And it was funny because when I showed up, the guy was like, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "Oh yeah." You're like, "Oh, hey, it's her," and he's like, "No, I mean, oh, hey, I'm so glad it's her," And I'm like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah. Silver Rock won't, I turned in all the information that Silver Rock asked me for, and they're just not doing anything." And I'm just like, so sorry, y'all can't see me for a second. I'm turning. So I'm like, well, why not just call me? Just call me and tell me what's going on. It's been 3 weeks. You've had my car for 3 weeks. My warranty expires next month. This is like a 3-month warranty. I've made 2 payments on a car I can't drive. So, yeah. Anyhow, still no car. And I like the car. That's what really sucks. It's I'm trying to take your leash off, Rolo. It's a Subaru Crosstrek. It's a 2014. Someone's texting me. It's 4-wheel drive. That's super cool because we live in the country. I think I have like all kinds of drama going on. I liked it. I liked the car because, like, the whole back row lays down. That's the car I drove up to Iowa with Ryuk. Oh, that's some drama. Not Ryuk, the wolf dog, but one of the puppies I had sold. I thought I found a good home for him. They actually watched Chad's channel, and they named their puppy after Ryuk. So I guess I should just go ahead and, since I started talking about that, go ahead and talk about that. So occasionally I breed my own line of sled dogs, which have Siberian Husky. They mostly would be considered Alaskan Huskies. So they're kind of like a mixture of Malamute, Siberian Husky, couple other like breeds. My line has my brain's not working. Australian Shepherd. I live in Alabama, so to me it makes sense to have Australian Shepherd in my line because they're more heat tolerant, and I also like Brillo. Settle down, buddy. I also like the trainability. They're really eager to please, and so you don't have to like bribe them as much as some other dogs. They just like hearing good boy, good girl, like is the world to them. So I love that. And they were, there's just a lot of other great qualities about them that I love. So I like that combination. And then there's a couple other people who breed them, and their lines have German Shepherd in them. And so I actually will be adding some of those to mine. Anyhow, so most people know them as Oskies. I kind of want to just start my complete own line and have my own name, but that's something I'm going to work on in the future once I really get the ball rolling. But so I have placed one with a lady who watches Chad's channel, and she, you don't know, but you don't know, this person said all the right things to sound like the perfect home. Like they said, they knew all the stuff to say, I guess. They totally were fooling me. And I was really busy at the time, in school, and I had 2 litters. I had, and they were bigger than I expected. I had a waiting list for them, but I had a couple extra puppies, so it's just like, oh no. Yeah. So yeah, like the home was a little too good to be true, and but she watched Chad's channel on top of that, and so it's just like, and she really wanted a wolf dog. In the future, she really wanted a Lycan Shepherd, and so I was like, well, I guess this, like I can't say yes or no if you get one. You have to go through Chad. But this would be a good, I could put in a good word if she gets one of my puppies and like it, everything works out great and everything. Like then I can be like, hey Chad, so this person has one of my dogs and this is the situation and all that, and then he can decide from there. She was like, oh my god, it was so bad. It got so bad. So bad, so fast. Like probably after after she got the puppy and I met her, I already had kind of higher expectations. But they showed up in this beat down Jeep, and I was like, okay, whatever. They kind of drove a little far to meet me. They're still in Alabama, but not that close to me. So I totally like to use my beat down junker to go put more miles on it. So okay, whatever, and they did say that their car was in the shop, so I was like, okay. And try not to judge, and then nothing against that. It's just they made me think that they were well off. That's the thing. And so she has the puppy for 2 weeks, names it Ryuk after Ryuk, and then she asked me if I can watch the puppy because they had her husband has a heart condition or something, which I also have a heart condition, so I can relate. Not the same kind, but so she needed to take him to get surgery or some kind of medical thing. So I was like, yeah, sure. I professionally board dogs, and I was like, since he's where I bred, I'll give you half off. And so she brings, now this is the mother of this dog is Freya, who is an Australian Shepherd, Siberian Husky, Malamute. I feel like I'm forgetting something. She has a pinch of something else in her. She might not. I might be because I have her brother Valor, and they each got a pinch of something different from their line. One kid's blue eyes, one kid's brown eyes kind of thing. They just slightly different genetics. Regardless, so she basically has like a half husky, half Australian Shepherd puppy, and so she shows up to meet me, and the puppy's in a harness, and I'm just like, okay, you know, I mean, the puppy is now like maybe 12 weeks old, because she got it around 10 weeks old, and I was just like, oh, a harness, you know, and the puppy's pulling her all over the place. So that was the other thing. So it's just like, maybe not do a harness at first, unless you're gonna use Chad's method. And I did send her the video of like how Chad does with the harnesses and the flexi lead and that sort of thing. I don't think she may have watched the video, but I don't think she ever did it. She definitely didn't, because that puppy never walked good on a leash, except when it was with me and I showed it how to walk properly on a leash, but then it would go back and it would just be undone. I kept the puppy like 4 or 5 times for them. So that second time, the first time I watched Puppy, she also mentioned that she had chickens. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you had chickens. You never mentioned that you had chickens. I mean, I have chickens. But this puppy, like, didn't really have that much exposure to chickens. And this puppy in particular was one of my higher drive puppies. And I, like, made that clear when I was finding a home that this puppy needed a slightly stronger home that could handle a more, you know, outgoing, assertive puppy. You know what I mean? And so my first pig wouldn't have been a home that had free-range chickens, not like in a coop or in a pen or whatever, like free-range chickens. Also, I am driving, so my connection may go in and out, so sorry. So I was just like, that's kind of, you know, something that you would mention, that I would think you would mention, especially when I did say, like, this is a high drive puppy. Oh, and if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what I'm gonna say, so I might have more information, maybe I didn't, because I kept getting distracted. I obviously get distracted really easily. I kept getting distracted on Instagram. I was venting in the stories, and boy, I was getting so distracted. Okay, not getting distracted, going back to what I was saying. So yeah, I was like surprised. I was like, okay, well, since you have a high drive husky type dog, also Australian Shepherd, which has that natural herding instinct, sometimes I'll just swap it out with shepherding so people don't think I'm saying hurting. So, like, you know, I try to explain to her, like, this puppy is going to want to interact with the chickens. You're going to have to monitor him, and you're going to have to teach him what's appropriate and what's not. And you should never leave him alone with the chickens until he's, like, 2 or something. You know, and you know you can trust him. Of course, don't listen. Whatever. So the second time I go to keep him, and I think I even shared videos of little Ryuk with Kindred playing on our couch or something, and Kindred was just being so good with him for her. She was like a big puppy, you know, so sometimes big puppies their bite inhibition is like not as good as an adult's, you know, like they might get a little too rough or too out of hand, but Kindred did really good. Because Kindred can play rough with the big dog, so I was a little concerned she might be too rough with him, but she did really good, because he's also like really spunky, or was really spunky. So the second time, I go to keep him. Just before I keep him, she lets me know that she got an adult husky. And I believe, it's been a little while, I believe I actually saw the post, because I'm in a bunch of groups, for this husky in particular. His name was Zeus. And the owners were rehoming him because he was like getting out of the fence. He was chasing cats. He was chasing squirrels. He wouldn't come when he was called. He wouldn't listen to commands. commands. He was destroying their house, like tearing up furniture and stuff. And so that's why they were rehoming this husky. Most likely the husky was bored. They weren't training the husky. Normal issues that a husky will have for people who don't know the breed and just got a dog because it's cute. So they got this husky, and I'm just like, this husky has a lot of issues, and you have an impressionable puppy. This isn't the greatest idea, but what's done is done. And I warned them that this husky, the husky's very bored. I thought you were saying I was boring. I was like, oh no, my bad. Sorry, my story sucks. I'm a horrible storyteller. I actually have written a couple books. But anyhow, hey, you too. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I'm kind of dragging out the story too. And I need to not, because I'm driving. I'm going to end up like losing service. I still have a little ways to go. I got like 30 minutes to go. But, so yeah, I warned her. I was like, this adult husky is going to teach this pup. I'm going to lose service here. This is a dead zone I'm about to drive through. I'm actually in Wetumpka, Alabama. And if I'm not disappeared, there's a huge crater. And so it like goes in. And, it's just a dead zone. So I'm gonna disappear for a couple seconds, I think. Let me know if I disappear, because if I don't, or if it's just like super short, then I'll do more lives while I'm trying to connect, so I know I disconnected. Or is that what you would call it? Disconnected? Lost connection? Alright, am I good? Am I back now? I should be. Okay, I'm getting conflicting messages. I'm getting messages saying, yes, it's good, and then it's saying reconnect. Okay, I should be good now for a little bit. And then I think there's one more dead zone. And then I'll just pull over and finish my story before I get to where it's complete dead zone. Okay, yeah, I think I should be good now. Okay, where was I? Okay, so she got Zeus, right? And I warned her that this adult dog with all these behavior problems is going to teach her sweet little puppy that she adores. Like in the beginning, all she did was talk good about little Ryuk. So let's not get confused. He's amazing. And little Ryuk had the potential to be amazing. It kind of makes me upset. He's not with us anymore. So, spoilers. Okay, I'll get to that. He's just not with us anymore. He would be 8 months old right now. So I gave her advice saying keep the adult dog separate, only have them together when you can supervise, work on training with the adult dog separately, and continue training Ryuk. Like just take turn. Like it's kind of easy. Take one dog outside, work with that dog, with the other dog, and then swap, or vice versa. Oh, and I did ask. This is the big thing that really what really clicked with me now when I realized that this lady is disconnected from reality. Is humanizing the dogs. I asked her, how does Zeus do with her chickens, her free range chickens? I knew it. Sorry, traffic. And she said, this is like the second day they had the dog. They're like, oh well, he did chase the chicken, and get a hold of it. So I'm trying to, because I actually have it in text, I'm trying to remember it verbatim, but I probably won't. And I may disconnect for a second because I'm hitting the next dead zone. But she said, you could tell he felt bad because apparently she says her chickens play dead. She said that when her chicken played dead, he felt bad because he was trying to get it to move again. And I was just like, have you ever seen a dog play with a stuffed animal? And they'll like prod it and flip it around, and you know, like he was playing with it. He was playing with, like, I was just like astonished that she was just like, oh, he felt bad because he thought he killed the chicken. He's a predator. Chicken as well. He didn't mean to snap its neck. He was just like playing with it. Like, no, I mean, she didn't say that, but that's just like, I can just see. And so I gave her advice on teaching impulse control with Prey Drive, where I suggested that she teaches the dogs the place command. And I'm speaking of them together because I just know little Ryuk is going to learn bad stuff from this other dog. So I said, teach them the place command, get a ball because they like to play ball, roll the ball, but have them hold the place command. I said that will help teach them impulse control. So a lot of dogs, as soon as it's kind of like a cat, as soon as they see that ball rolling, they have to go for it, right? They want to get it. But if you can teach them to just ignore the ball rolling, that helps with impulse control and helps with self-control, you know. So when a chicken decides to run by, or two chickens kind of get into it, it helps them to not just react. Who knows? Maybe she did it once or twice. I don't know. But the next thing I know, so I do end up keeping both dogs a couple times for them. And I work on leash manners, and a couple things. Zeus was not potty trained. We had to clean up after him. He may be in some old videos. I don't know. And okay, so then they call me in the middle of the night at like, it's like midnight or later, with an emergency. Her husband or boyfriend or whatever he is had like a stroke or had an issue with his heart, and they had to go to the emergency room. And apparently they weren't happy with the services at the emergency room, so it couldn't have been that severe because they could leave. But they left the emergency room. They went home because they were going to go to a whole other emergency place somewhere else, but they were going to go ahead and go home and get some stuff before they went. This is kind of weird. Like, you're talking about like a heart issue. You leave the hospital to go home to get some supplies to stay at another hospital with this heart issue. To me, that I don't know. That sounds really weird to me. And dangerous if it's, you know, like, I don't know. I only know about my heart condition, so, and it's, yeah. So, so when they get home, apparently, little Ryuk would have been like around 4 or 5 months old at this time. And Zeus is over a year old, like almost 2 years old. And so they said they got home and the dogs were loose in the yard, that they had broke through a window, loose in the yard, and they had killed and eaten a bunch of chickens. And I was just like, oh no, like, that, you know, little Ryuk has just learned how to kill, or maybe he didn't actually kill any, but he definitely, I'm sure he learned by watching this adult dog kill chickens, and then he got the satisfaction of eating these animals. Now Ryuk, being raised, you know, with me, like being whelped with me, he did eat raw, but he didn't eat feathered, you know, birds. And he didn't have the association that this chicken, you know, is food. So that's what I told her. So they wanted me to keep their dogs in the middle of the night so they can go to the other emergency room. And so when I met with her, I mean, her husband didn't seem, he seemed okay. Just a little grumpy, I guess, because they lost their chickens. But when I met with her, I told her, I was like, okay, like, you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to keep them away from them. You're going to have to do all these things. And I, like, can send you video resources of what to do. Or things to do to, you know, you might even want to invest in, like, an invisible fence or an electric fence to put your chickens behind. And they didn't do any of that stuff. I think they did start keeping their chickens in a coop. I kept the dogs. They passed, you know, obviously they passed feathers and stuff, so both of them did, so they both ate the chickens. And so I told her all these things to do. And I think I offered training then, because I have chickens. Like, I could work with them around chickens. But she declined that. So then, I think there was one other thing. She sent me, so then she started sending me, like, after that, like, he's 6 months old, 7 months old, started sending me pictures of, like, how Zeus and Ryu ate their door, like, just chewed the door to pieces, chewed the TV stand out from the TV, and the TV fell and broke, chewed up the wall, all these things. I also suggested that they get a kennel. So apparently the kennel wouldn't fit in their house. She sent me a picture of their house, and it was like the projects. It was like a crack house. Like, I was just like, sometimes my house can get kind of messy because I'm always running around, and I'd rather play with dogs than clean. But this wasn't like just a regular messy house with people who have dogs. This was like, I wouldn't have been surprised if there was, like, someone strung out laying on the floor, you know, like, I was just, like, appalled, and I was like, wait, this is your home? You're the person who led me to believe that you're well off, that you know, that you have all these nice things that you have, and this is where you live, and this is how your house, like, it was, like, you could barely see the floor. I mean, unless the dogs just, like, destroy the whole house every day, all day, and they didn't clean it. I might lose service. I'm gonna pull over right here. Let me know if I lose service. Oh my God, person. Okay, I'm gonna pull over right here and finish my story. Let me pull right here. I'm at my dad's house. I think I have to use this Wi-Fi. Okay. Oh, wow, I'm super close now. Hi. Hi, Rolo. Hi, Crone. I don't know how to, I don't really know how to pronounce her name. It's like K-A-R-O-N-E. Crone. And I keep calling her Corona. This is Corone. She's hey, all right, still a show. She is a Cane Corso Great Pyrenees mix, and she's 8 months old. Corone. You turn your head that way. Okay, so let me finish my story real quick. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, so her house. Oh, I can, like, read the chats too. Live chat. Okay, so Rolo, say hi. Oh, hey, sweetie. Look at this. These are big puppies. Rolo is a little jealous. Okay, we went for a heel walk, and so he's wearing a prong collar because he tends to, he's pawing me. He tends to, especially when I'm walking new dogs. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're so weird. Okay, when I walk new dogs, it's following me. He tends to like want to like walk ahead of them. And so I just need to make sure, like, he does a pretty good heel, but when we have other dogs, he tries to like walk ahead, and so then they learn to walk like that, and they don't need that. So it's just to help encourage him to stay in the spot that he needs to stay in. Anyhow, the story. Gosh, I see distracted. I can never finish what I start. Guys, where was I? I know, like, okay, their house was like crazy, and I hate to be like judgmental, but they misled me, like they made me feel like they had a lot of nice stuff, and they, you know, and so that's the issue, is that they misled me. I totally would have picked you know, or suggested a different puppy for them, having known, if I had known that they were going to humanize the puppy, that they were going to have, that they had free range chickens, and that they were potentially going to pick, well, that's the other thing, is like the dog that they got, I'm at my dad's house, so I was like, oh, is he coming out to see what I want? Like, I think any young puppy, like, when they got Zeus, would have, like, learned bad stuff. So that was just, like, all together. They should have just got Zeus, or they should have not got Zeus and raised their puppy first, and then maybe added another dog. Yeah, they did. And it's really sad, because he had a lot of potential. Oh, that's the other thing. They wanted to get little Ryuk as a service dog prospect. What, boy? He's like intently looking at something. Ow, hands cramping. Yeah, they wanted to get him as like a possible service dog for the husband's heart condition. And so that's another reason why I was like, okay, well, if he's going with you everywhere, him being a little more assertive and outgoing might be a good trait, you know, for that as a prospect. So again, it's just like seeing how they ended up raising him. It's just like totally not the life I thought he was going to have at all. My husband and I have been trying to not get sick, and the sickness is trying to get us. So my throat's kind of not happy. Okay, so yeah, so now I learned all these things, and I'm just like, well, she has the dog now. She started telling me about, like, the dogs were destroying the house and asking for advice. I was giving her advice. Was she taking it? Probably not. Then she messaged me. This is something that would have been a deal breaker for me. She messaged me, what do I do about Ryuk's nasty attitude? Whenever I spank him, he starts trying to bite me. And I was just like, don't spank your dog. Like, why are you... Now he'd be 6 months old, and it's just like, how long have you been hitting your dog? Like, she watches Chad's channel. That's the thing. It's like, do you actually even watch it, or do you just be like, oh, wolf dogs, you know? I don't know, like, it's not funny. It's like, it actually really pisses me off, but it's just like, I tend to laugh when I shouldn't laugh, for one. He's just like choked on air. You okay, bud? But it's just like, I was just like so shocked. Like, I never would have homed him. I never would have homed any of my puppies to a home that I would have thought would be hitting their dogs to discipline them. In the very rare instances, like, your dog bites you and you pop it, I can maybe excuse that. You know, or like the snap like reaction, they snapped at another dog and you like just react and you pop. And I don't do this, but I'm just saying I can kind of see where somebody else would do that, and I can kind of dismiss that, right? But and then if I found out about that, I would just give like a better response of how to handle that situation. She don't watch his channel. I think she's only seen 1 or 2. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, she definitely, I don't know. Maybe, yeah. There's no telling. She probably looked up like wolf dogs and then on YouTube and saw 1 or 2 of his videos. I don't know. There's crazy people. She's probably one that's been banned on the channel. Gosh. So, I showed her what to do. I showed her, oh, I'm not going to do it this week, girl. You know, the muzzle, you know, where you do the correction with the muzzle. And then I also do something where, Rolo, come be my demo dog. He's like, I'm always the demo dog. Mr. Bear, come here. Rolo, come here. Okay, so I don't know, maybe you can't see because he's so big and black. But sometimes when they're naughty, I'll grab them like by their collar and a little bit of their like fur, and I'll like guide them into a sit. I'm not trying to hurt them. It's just a hey. Usually it's just a collar. If they don't have a collar, I'll just grab their loose skin. And I'm not trying to hurt them. That's not the point. It's to get their attention and be like, okay, like kind of like you grab a kid's arm, but of course you're not like trying to hurt the kid's arm or the kid. You're just like, hey, I'm serious right now, you know? You get their attention and they're looking at you. That's something I'll do, is I'll just like grab like the side of their skin on their neck. Just like, yes, a little more. You're so funny. Sorry. And then I'll just put him in a sit and I'll be like, that's bad, you know. He said, look, he says a little more. Do you want, Rolo, do you want a little more? Do you want me to pet you? Please. Are you a weirdo? Paw me if you're a weirdo. Oh no, he licked me instead. I don't know what that means. He's not a weirdo. Sometimes he actually looks like a bear. And I was always like, oh man, everybody names their dog Bear. But now I can kind of see. Anyhow, see, this is why I can never finish a story, because of you, Rolo. Look how big these paws are. So I told her what to do. I sent her videos. I used Bjorn, my profile picture, the dog in my profile picture, the one with the blue eyes, as a demo, and Lagatha, their mother, as a demo. I showed her exactly how to correct them. And I think she just dismissed it. And then I offered training. So I don't know if y'all know, most trainers, oh, my hair's crazy. Look at that. Oh, it's like super crazy. You know, I have a husband who saw me today and wasn't like, hey, hon, you got like this massive loop in your hair. Like, I can even like hang jewelry from it or something. You know, if he had hair and it was at a place, I would tell him. Okay. See, I can't finish stories. Also, I kind of don't want to finish the story because it sucks. So I told her how to do the corrections. Okay, that's what I was getting at. Training. So I do basic training. I'm shadowing the dog daddy, Augusto, with a lot of his training, because I can't afford $5,000 to like go to his trainer's course. Even with a discount, you know, he did offer to give me a discount, but I still would need like a place to stay, and rather not. I'd like to my own place to stay. Just so there's no drama. I'm not gonna say too much. And like his next one's in New York. It's this week. It's this month, and it's in New York. New York's expensive. I would need a place to stay. I would need to pay for Ubers. Because I'm surely not gonna get a rental car, and then have to pay to park it everywhere. And then food. I'm sure the food is more expensive up there. Okay, I'm getting distracted. See, y'all need to tell me when I'm getting distracted. You tell me to focus. Okay. Okay, so most trainers, yeah, I need loads of money. And I keep buying things that I don't need. That I think I need. Them. Okay, focus. I'm focusing. See, now I don't even remember. Okay, training. We're talking about training. Okay, most trainers charge $1,000 a week on average for a board and train. $1,000. I charge $330 a week for a board and train. I offered her to board and train Ryu because of the biting, to work around chickens and like leash manners and all that sort of stuff. I offered to do it for her for $150 a week. She told me she couldn't afford it. And again, it goes back to, wait, you made it seem like you were so well off. And, you know, like you paid for him. You could afford to pay me for him. And I didn't ask that much, but, you know, oh, how do you pay the vet? How do you pay for his food? How do you, you know, like, it's just so cheap. It's so cheap. She's having serious issues with him now. 6 months, 7 months old. Having serious issues now. But he's not worth putting aside $150. So, yeah, a lot of lies. So, I'm like, okay, well, maybe their car broke down again. Maybe, you know, they had to replace all their chickens, so they're broke from buying all these chickens. Maybe they bought fencing, like I kept telling them to. And, ooh, y'all see that? Sorry. It startled me and caught me off guard. Scared myself a little bit. I can't focus. But yeah, so I, you know, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, they, you know, they invested into their homestead. They invested into their animals. And so now they just don't have the money right now. And so maybe she'll message me whenever she does get $150. And I can at least do 1 week of training with him. So I don't hear anything for like a month. And I have her on Facebook. I even tagged her in a post where one of his brothers, one of my others from that same litter, who also went to a home to become a potential service dog, and he's doing amazing. And the owner made a post and tagged me about how her dog, whose name is Octavius, is doing amazing with his training. He's doing great with service work. He's already doing his public access stuff. He's, you know, 7 months old, 8 months old now. No, 7. I think it was 7 months old at the time. Like, just doing great. And then, so I made a post with that, and I made a post with another male who y'all may have seen on Instagram. His name is Frank. Who won first place in a doggy modeling contest and is like going to be on some calendars. And, you know, again, 7 months old, you know, doing amazing. And there, you know, his owner was raving about him. The other owner was raving about hers. And so I made that post together and I tagged her in the post. And I'm thinking, you know, no news is good news. You know, maybe she did listen to me, and maybe she actually started working with it. I think I sent her some videos too. There's like lots of really good dog trainers on YouTube. So maybe she was, you know, following them and doing what they suggested, and things are getting better. No. So she didn't say anything. She didn't even like the post I tagged her in. And that was like kind of a red flag. And I'm like, you know, I got to thinking, like the back of my mind, I'm like, she just got rid of him. Hopefully she didn't take him to a pound. And I had offered, when I offered the training, I did offer to take him back if it wasn't working out. So I was like, she probably just got rid of him. She probably just gave him to a friend, gave him to a family member, you know, something, you know, but I never asked. So then she messages me a couple days ago and says, hey, we're going on a trip. We're going on vacation. And the place that we're going to doesn't allow dogs. Can you watch Zeus? And I missed the part where it said that it doesn't allow dogs. And I was like, oh, not Ryuk? Are you taking him with you? Because, again, he was supposed to be being trained as a service dog for the husband. And she says, no, just Zeus. We don't have Ryuk anymore. So I might be butchering it, but this is basically how it went. If you saw on Instagram, I think I shared some screenshots. It was in my stories though, so it's not up anymore. But so I said, well, what happened to Ryuk? And her response was, well, I tried to tell you. She said he got too big for his britches. She said, I tried to tell you he was, I forget the words that she used, that he was getting out of hand or something. And I forget, she said some other stuff where it was kind of like, almost like turned it around on me, like it was my fault somehow. And I said, so, what did I say? I don't remember if her answer was in the same paragraph or if I asked something else. But essentially she told me that her husband caught him in the chicken coop in the middle of the night. And she couldn't stop her husband in time. That's what she said. Something like that. And I was just like, so is he dead? You know, because that's the way it sounds. And she says, unfortunately. And I'm just like, of course, you know, I'm like in shock. Like, little Ryuk has the same markings as his mother, Freya. He was, you know, he was a very outgoing and unforgettable puppy. You know, and not that I forgot all my puppies, but he definitely had like that strong personality. And I trying to get emotional. Hey, please don't stop my coffee though, buddy. Rollo was like, did you need my butt to hug? I need your booties. I need bear hugs. Oh my gosh, I squeezed his tummy and it made a gurgly sound. So yeah. So I'm just like, I don't remember what I said. I might not have said anything. I think I wanted to curse her out. And instead I just unfriended her and I archived the conversation. And then I cried for a while. And then I went on Instagram and I started venting. And I screenshot all her messages, all the relevant messages, and sent them to, a bunch of like dog rehoming groups, dog breeding groups, all these local groups. And my some of the owners of the groups I'm actually like good friends with, or good internet friends with, I should say. So she's blacklisted. She's put on the do not rehome to list. But I don't understand, like, if he was that much of a problem, why not just send him back to me? You know, why not give him away to somebody else? Why let it get that far? And I never, like, I asked tons of questions. Like, I never would have homed, sorry, I'm getting confused now. I never would have homed a dog to somewhere that I thought the person was capable, regardless of it being her husband. It was supposed to be a service dog for her husband, a potential service dog for her husband. I never would have sent any of dog ever to a home where I thought that they would shoot their own dog. I literally have a dog whose owner shot it as a puppy at 5 months old, Violet, right? Rescued her. My retired vet came in and did her surgery to save her life. And we still have her. Patience is, my oldest daughter, Patience, is actually she's in trucking school. And when she graduates, Violet is going to go trucking with her. She's going to be her trucking dog. Buddy, if you spill my coffee everywhere, we're not going to be friends no more, okay? I have my Starbucks. Found the lid on it, so it's like I can just drink it. But yeah, like, why not just give the dog back to me? I don't understand. Why not just give it back to me? Why not have it trained? Like, yeah, Violet loves Patience. Like, they adore each other. They're both like soulmates. But yeah, I was just, and Ryuk would have been 7 months. So she shot a 7-month-old puppy. She set it up to fail, just like you said. She had another dog teach it bad stuff. And what's kind of weird is, like, she complained about the other dog, Zeus, all the way up until about a month before they ended up killing Ryuk, little Ryuk. But they still have Zeus, who taught the puppy how to do stuff. How do you shoot a puppy? Unless it's got rabies, like, I just don't understand. Yeah, I mean, it's super discounted training. Offer to take the puppy back. Like, it's just, and he had so much potential. Obviously, like, he has tons, like, even like the other homes that don't share as much, they love their puppies. I think they're 8 months old now, but nobody has had any complaints except for her. And her complaints didn't start until after she got the other dog. Because before that, she kept talking about how good he was doing and all this sort of stuff. Although he was like pulling her all over the place on the leash. So, it's crazy how people will just say whatever to get what they want and just be fake. It sucks. But, oh, and to me, like, the worst part is that it's not funny. It's just like, I just can't even understand how her brain works now. She messages me about a month after they shoot and kill a puppy they bought from me that I hand raised. I do, I don't know if you've heard of this. It's called the Badass Breeder Program. It's about changing bad breeders, like making it, I think their slogan is like from bad breeders to badass breeders. So it involves like the early neurological stimulation, like what Chad does. It involves like litter training, crate training, socialization, doing like all these different things with the puppy to help develop them into. I hate the glare on my glasses. I'm sorry. You can't even see my eyeballs. Um, but to help them be more successful in life, and it's great for service dog prospects because service dogs, or most working dogs, I should say, have a lot that they have to deal with on a daily basis. And so having a good stable background or foundation where they have a lot of exposure to all kinds of different things and they can be handled like easily, like that just makes them a better service dog or a better working dog. So I do all these things with my puppies, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't been posting that much. Is I have a litter of puppies right now. I actually have 2 puppies that look like little Ryuk. Although one has brown eyes and one has blue eyes. One's a boy and one's a girl. The one that looks most like little Ryuk is a girl, and she's still available. And I'm like, because now I'm getting that like little like emotional sentimental thing, because she looks like her big brother. I'm like, I don't need another puppy. I don't need, like, if I'm gonna add another dog, it's gonna contribute, and I don't need her for that. But anyhow, if y'all want a puppy, she's available. What was I saying? So anyhow, so I spent a lot of time. I don't know if there are videos of him as a puppy on my shorts. It would be about 6 months ago. Yeah, I never went in their house. I met them. She did. I asked for pictures of where her puppy will stay, and now I'm wondering if they were like stolen pictures. There was no way that the pictures she sent of like the puppies, it was like a puppy bed with the bowls, and I don't know, maybe she had like one little clean corner of her house. I don't know. I mean, she did buy him a lot of stuff when he was little, so who knows. But anyhow, I put a lot of time and energy and love into these puppies, and to have one just be so like set up for failure, and then never even given a chance for proper training, and then they just kill it just because, oh, someone's texting me. Yes, okay, I gotta go pick up 2 dogs. I gotta go take her home, and I'm gonna go get 2 of my regulars. We call them the D&D dogs, because their owners go to Birmingham to play D&D with their friends, Dungeons and Dragons, and so we keep their dogs overnight while they're gone. So they're regulars, but they haven't gone in a little while, and so they messaged that they wanted to go this weekend. So I gotta go pick them up. And it's a lot of backcountry I gotta drive through, so I would do a live, but I feel like I would just disconnect over and over. So I don't know if it would even be worth it. Are there any parts of the story that I left out or you have questions about? Oh, that's what I was gonna get at, was that they shot and killed my puppy that I bred. I spent all this time on, that they lied to me about, and then asked me to keep their other dog so they can go on vacation. So they could go on vacation. They couldn't afford $150 to train their dog, but they can go on vacation. Like, that, what? And then the other thing was, like, they shot the puppy over, and it was attacking chickens. But so you value, I mean, all All animals. I value my chickens. I'm not going to shoot my dog, my own dog, for killing my chickens. Even my layers, even my 6-year-old, you know, chickens, like, I'm not going to. I won't be very, very upset. I'm not going to shoot them. Especially a 7-month-old puppy. Like, they don't know any better. You have to teach them, you know, especially a high drive. And then, and these people wanted a wolf dog. They wanted one of Chad's Lycan Shepherds. Like, like I said, they're probably already blocked on his channel because they said something stupid. But don't worry, they won't be getting one. There's no way. Probably Chad is like way more experienced at vetting people than me, and he probably could see through their BS. I don't know. And I just like fell for their little pretend imaginary life that they had. Hey Becky. I don't know how long you've been here. I was just sharing the tragic story of little Ryuk. Poor baby. Gosh, man, people are blowing on my phone. I'm getting all these notifications. So, yeah. I have more stories, but I'll have to do those later. I had, pickling quail eggs. I wonder what that tastes like. They're so small. It's like bite size. I don't think you know what? I don't think I've actually had pickled eggs before, now that I think about it. But it sounds cute. I love, like, you're always doing something, like, cool. Something, like, homesteady that's cool. And I have, like, 500 projects I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to do that. But then I'm like, I have 500 projects I'm doing. I can't do it. Spicy Cajun mix. I can't do spicy. My husband will love it. My uncle, who is Cajun, would also love it. I have a book, which I actually took off of Amazon. That's, I'm redoing it. That's why I took it down. It's the Redneck Cookbook. And originally it had some redneck recipes, some cowboy recipes, some Cajun recipes, and some hillbilly recipes. Yeah, I can't even pretend to try to, like, I can't even have an opinion, an option. I can't even have an option to like it because my mouth melts. Like, I can't. It's like eating lava and trying to breathe fire. I can't do spicy. I can't even do Big Red chewing gum. It's just too spicy. But yeah, so I have it's a joke cookbook. It's not a real cookbook. It has, like, possum recipes and raccoon recipes, and my favorite is the mystery roadkill casserole. But I took it down. It's not on Amazon anymore. I took it down because I'm actually going to make them. I'm going to make their own editions. And so I'm going to have redneck recipes as its own cookbook, and then I'm going to have cowboy recipes, which includes oh my God, Rocky Mountain oysters. I can't believe I almost forgot what it was called. Rocky Mountain oysters. Do y'all know what that is? And then I'm going to have the Cajun recipes, and then I'm going to have the hillbilly recipes. I'm going to have, like, 4 editions. But I just need to work on, you don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are? Just Google it. Actually, there's a YouTuber, Trinity, and I always butcher his last name. It's Vendor Acre or something like that. He's a cowboy in Montana. And he has a video on Rocky Mountain oysters. So just look up Trinity Rocky Mountain Oysters. I love his channel. He's I don't know, he's so cool. I like him. He's so cool. I really want to have a ranch. I really want a ranch. So that's why I watch him. He's a cowboy. Like a real cowboy, kind of. He says he's not a real cowboy. His dad, I think, probably was a real cowboy or something. But yeah, he educates the public on what it's like to be an actual cowboy and what cowboys actually do. He eats, they cook and eat Rocky Mountain oysters. Make sure you comment back after you checked it out, okay? But yeah, so I have that recipe in there. Anyhow, yeah, I need to, I see so many projects. I need to like finish, like, just go ahead and separate them out. I'll probably go ahead and put the redneck one back up. I got like 2 more recipes I'm going to add in there. And I'm going to add some more images to it instead of it just being directions or ingredients. Like, it actually has the recipes. But I do have a disclaimer that this is like a joke. Don't actually eat roadkill. Make sure you follow the laws of your area, because like certain things are illegal. Like armadillos carry leprosy. Don't go out and catch one and eat it. Yeah, so it's a joke book. But I need to, like, I took it down. I took down all my books actually, and I'm redoing all of them. And while raising newborn puppies and training Corone. Hi, Corone. She's like, no, I'm done. We went and trained today. She's done. She's like, hi, baby. Hi, sweetie. She's an 8-month-old Cane Corso Great Pyrenees mix. She's learning her basics. But yes, I need to go. I have to do things. I gotta get home, take her home and let her take a nap, because obviously she's exhausted. And then I've got to go pick up 2 of my regulars that I board. And then puppies and stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to go. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate the likes and all. And I hate that I had to share a sad story. But it just felt good to vent about it. The audacity. Think I'm going to watch her other dog after she killed my baby. Gosh. The video gets flagged. Okay. Alright, y'all have a good one. And I'll try to do more lives. I suck at that. Oh my gosh. Real quick. Me and Sean were hanging out with Augusto, aka the dog daddy. And he totally put us on his live with like 300k people watching on TikTok without us knowing. Like, he called us over and he wanted us to go out with him, like go find something to do, and we were like, oh, we gotta go home, we got dogs, we're tired. And then I look over at his phone and it's like all these comments, oh my god, you're crazy, go hang out with the dog daddy, you know, like, I'm so jealous, you know. And I'm just like, oh. You could have told us. But anyhow, yeah. Also, he said I can go with him to shadow him and help when he volunteers at rescue. So I have to find time for that on top of everything else that I'm doing or trying to do. So yeah. Anyhow. But I'm a little excited because I want to learn more stuff, especially when it comes to like fearful dogs. But okay, I'm gonna go, otherwise I'll never handle any of my responsibilities today. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you.